name is Noah, 21 years old. I'm from Korea in Daegu. 2017, December start league. 2020 and 2021 in LCK start pro gamer. I was in KT. I didn't have some basics or thinking, so I run many things in KT. And this Zero Tenacity is just I want to show my upgraded skills.
And who are your favorite champions?
Easier.
So how would you describe your playstyle?
Very aggressive. I like damage trade and spell trade and sometimes ADC 1 against 1. So I want like this matchup. My friend Cheshi, I want to win him and put on his put on his hair. My hands.
Oh,
this.
Do you have any interests outside of League of Legends? Anything you do in your free time?
Only League of Legends and sometimes League of Legends to Q solo. So I playing Q time in Steam games or Jump King or other type of
Welcome back to the LEC Live from Berlin, and we're about to head into our third best of one of the day. It's going to be KOI versus Fnatic. And the interesting thing about these teams is we had a little bit of a switcheroo for week one between their supports. Advienne heading over to the black and orange, and Trymbi really, heading from, I should say, the black and orange.
Hold on.
And Trymbi coming in.
Do you hear that? Do you hear? It sounds like a grudge match, yeah.
Do you want to head over to the Nine Wall?
Just that's funny. But no, I mean, absolutely. I think it's awesome. Like, especially for Trymbi, for Trymbi mainly because he had such a history with KOI. I think that's going to be very interesting to see just him going against KOI, him going against Comp down the bot side, because that was a bot lane that last year was top 2 in the league for sure. It hasn't quite worked out for them this year, but since joining hands over with Noah on the opposite side, I think Trymbi's looked much better.
I think Trymbi is pretty happy with Noah so far at the very least, because that guy is looking rather amazing. And it also looks like, from an outside point of view at least, he's leveled up Fnatic. I know one of the issues Fnatic had in winter and spring was that Razork felt a lot of the shot calling responsibilities were falling on him and that it was hurting his play. And now, like, their macro and decision-making overall has looked a lot better. Razork has looked a lot better. And I'm assuming this guy is a big reason as to why that is the case.
I think especially just right out of the gate when you saw him on the Thresh too, because for so long I felt like Trymbi and his other games he was back on the Enchanters. Like, he was sort of one of the first supports in Europe, I think last year, to jump all aboard the Enchanter train. But it was great to see him on the Thresh, finding huge impact inside the lane, getting active around the map with the roams up to fight around things like the Herald. He was absolutely on point with the hooks and setting Noah up for so many of these plays throughout the game.
It's really interesting to see the chemistry as well between Trymbi and Noah.
Between Oscar and him, mwah, gorgeous.
This is the thing about Trymbi as well. He's a player who can come in and just bring a team together through sheer enthusiasm. And that's not to underestimate his role as a support player, because clearly the man is incredibly mechanically gifted. But there's something that he brings to a team. It's something that he brings to any room he walks into. It's sunshine. And I know this is a video game. It's not just like best friend League of Legends. But I think that brings a lot to a team, especially a team that really does need to make every win count like Fnatic right now.
100%. I mean, their backs were against the wall, right? You have a couple of disappointing performances. Of course, Fnatic did look better. I think they were just, one Nexus hit off of, sending Mad Lions home in the last split. But already off to a great start is great news for them to try and make it to season finals.
And I think the support swap is interesting because in a lot of ways these two players seem fairly similar from an outside point of view. I know you mentioned Trymbi always brings good vibes and happiness to his team. Advienne did the same thing when joining Fnatic. It's something he got a lot of praise for from his teammates. And in the offseason, I was pretty surprised seeing the change because they look so similar. But then again, how are they going to fit like with their teams now? Advienne comp, hasn't shown so much as a duo yet, while Trymbi and Noah already have looked really stable. And I'm curious to see if KOI can actually match up versus the strength of this Fnatic bot lane.
This is the interesting thing with this role swap between the two, or team swap between the two supports, because when we had Reckless on the show last week, he was saying, comp reminds me of me. And so Reckless really enjoyed playing with Advienne. So for me, on paper, it kind of made sense in a way, because you're thinking, okay, well, Advienne's going to be sort of playing a very similar style. He's going to be doing the same that was required of him last split, but it's not clicking.
I also think that KOI were looking for solutions in the laning phase in the bottom side. Advienne looked much stronger there. Things hadn't quite been working out between Comp and Trymbi. So we're expecting to see that pairing evolve together, continue to work very nicely in tandem with one another. I don't think after 1 week we can, say confidently either way it's gone. I mean, let's face it, BDS, who, they've already got their win. All of a sudden, Excel is taking down Heretics. Like, relax with the week 1 overreactions, I think, for just a moment. But I'm positively optimistic about this bot lane from KOI.
Never tell a woman on the internet to relax, Szygenda. We've got 2 more weeks of the regular season. We're already a few games into 2 weeks. We don't have time to relax. Sorry.
Relax.
I'm just saying, I know we need to give them some more time. Like, just look at that last game with Excel. Suddenly things are working out. They've had a bit more time. The pressure was on them, but that Odo 500 game magic, that did come out in their favor. So I'm not saying that KOI can't bring things back together. Comp, obviously, he's understood that from the last split, he's needed to improve things as well. So it's not just a case of Advienne either, I don't think. I think it's also a case of finding that confidence and finding that performance we know he can bring.
Yeah, definitely, because again, we spoke about Noah a lot for good reason. This guy is on a whole other level, at least was in week 1, so it's going to be a big challenge for Comp. And I also think it's going to come down to the support jungle synergy, because it's one of the key synergies in the game in pretty much all phases. Early game when it comes to like setting of dragons, objectives, vision, helping the carriers end up in a good situation, but also in the later phases, right? And we've only seen 1 week of these guys so far. There's still a lot of synergies to build there, but I could easily imagine either one of these sides being really dominant once they start gelling in those positions.
Well, let's see if they've managed to work on their gelling since week 1 as we head into their first best of 1 of the week. Which support can successfully take down their former team? Let's find out with Caedrel and Drakos.
Thanks, Frankie. Thanks for not giving us a weird nickname either. I didn't really want to sing like a rap song from the early 2000s with you, Mark. I'm sorry.
Did you get a weird nickname last time?
No, Betty and Trevor did. They were the bad boys. Did you ever see Bad Boys?
Yeah, Bad Boys. Yeah. Bad
okay,
Boys.
well, you're more prepared than Betty. Welcome.
He hasn't seen it?
He hasn't seen it.
Oh, no.
We're getting ready now.
What a classic.
Drakos, Caedrel.
Yeah.
KOI, Fnatic, absolute banger of a game. Fnatic out of nowhere, from a bit lackluster in winter to all right in spring to pretty good in week 1 of summer, whereas KOI was a bit resident sleeper. We'll find out if they're going to pick up the pace of the game as we get ready for our 3rd game of the day, KOI versus Fnatic. Woo!
Razork's well rested for this game, wide awake and ready to take on KOI. Advienne and Trymbi swapping teams, Noah coming in. Let's see what we got cooking in the draft already. Aphelios taken away.
1 off the board, and it's so sad too. You, like many other preschoolers, have been learning all about the colors. And you've been very excited when I've tuned into your stream.
Oh, dude, I love the gun combos. I love the colors.
We're all going to talk about it in this game. Maybe we're going to talk about it in one of the other 2. Jarvan also taken off the board. That's a Malrang classic. That champion's not good in the meta. It's just good in the hands
really? Does
of Malrang.
Play Jarvan?
I think you might have heard it once or twice.
So, Emilio and Yuumi are still up.
Nico, LeBlanc.
Rakan is up.
Rakan is up, and there are 2 other OP supports that also need to be banned.
Yeah.
So who's going to make it through? Emilio, 1. Yuumi could be the response, but you're giving over Rakan to Advienne. Are you scared of Advienne's Rakan?
Yuumi. So yeah, Rakan's been given over, Vi's been given over. See what they go into. Yeah, so it's going to be the Vi, Xayah. It's going to be insta-lock there. There's the Xayah Rakan. I think no surprise whatsoever from Fnatic, so they're very aware of that
and
trade.
And in the 1-2, you get the picture synergy. It's coming together nicely.
Yeah, we've got the Zeri. Oh, Jesus, this draft is going too quick. Because there's Zeri, Lulu. We're going to get Wukong here. What are we going to get? We're going to get some exciting mid. Poppy. Whoa, boom.
Okay, all right.
Did they do this draft before? What's going on? We're already into the 2nd phase. So jungle and bots picked for both sides, solo laners left. I mean, Fnatic can take away blind pick mids here, or blind pick tops here, sorry, or counter mids to what they'll pick on 4. I think on 4 here, you can look at Annie, you can look at Ahri. Really easy pickups for them, taking away the Azir already.
And while I love the combo of having, well, love is a strong word. As well, I think Zeri Lulu is very powerful. Obviously, we've seen what a Rakan can do to take over a game. Part of the reason it's banned so frequently is it's a champion that can just single-handedly turn the tides. So see what Trymbi can do on it with Noah at his side. Curious to see how that one's going to go for now.
Orianna
Focus,
ban.
though, on mid lane. Orianna ban.
Wait, I'm checking Humanoid's RPG. That guy must be playing static shift for
So we
Orianna.
did speak to the coaching staff,
Yeah.
and they said Humanoid was cooking, to not give away any details. But how deep is he
gone?
gone?
Don't you worry, sweet child of mine.
I know.
I'll be telling you all the cooks.
Is he like Vedius, where the pasta's getting some ketchup on it? Is that the kind of cooking we're getting? Or is it like Michelin star, Coda, 7-course dessert menu?
He's been playing Ezreal, Orianna,
Yes.
Kai'Sa,
Okay.
and Kayle.
Okay, a lot of K champions.
Yeah, so there's the Annie taken away. I feel like Ahri here on 4 is a bit of a steal if they want to go that direction. We've seen the static shift Ahri from Larssen. Bit more of a fan of the Everfrost Ahri, I have to say. In the LCK today, they played Twisted Fate. Not on-hit even, just AP Twisted Fate. We've also seen on-hit TF as well. So we'll see if that's an option. Nope. We're going to go towards Syndra. Wow, we think about all these recipes we could cook up, you know, we just go for a classic carbonara.
You know what? Carbonara, safe bet.
It is really a safe bet.
Probably saying something wrong there. Italians will add us if so. Vi, this is the first time, fun fact, courtesy of our stats team, thank you, Adea, that has made through the ban phase. Vi has been perma'd this entire season.
So surely it'll win, right?
That's maybe. We'll find out. Gragas alongside Vi, though. A lot of engage, a lot of disengage, and look, there she is, Mark.
Right.
The most stock standard meta champion we have.
Oh my god,
Is there anything
excited.
more standard than Ahri?
Yes, there is. There could be a Kassan. Oh no, Kasante's banned. So
That's
what could we get on 5? Maybe we could get a Poppy top and we get a Wukong or something. No, I mean, Ahri's a bit of. I mean, I like the pick into Syndra, I suppose, but into Poppy, it's kind of annoying. Yeah, that's better.
Oh, there it is.
Just go Viktor, go full mage, go full damage and scaling. There's no point picking Ahri into Rakan Poppy. You can't move anyway. Ooh, give me the rock. But
And I will say, Viktor, as a champion, horrendously boring. As a champion that fits into this composition, great. Love it. Slow, stall out the game. You have a bunch of champions you want to leap into. You like Rakan, you throw down that gravity field, you take over the game. But taking a Kennen here...
You know, I just hate it.
You don't like the Kennen?
No, I don't. I think the Scion would have been much better. Oh, so it is Poppy top Wukong jungle. Okay, much better. I wasn't going to be a fan of the Kennen too much.
Solid interaction
I feel like
with the Gragas.
Yeah, double AP solo lineage just stings a little bit, and you're kind of forcing fights when, you know, playing Xayah Syndra. Anyway, Fnatic got a really good skirmish. You know, Poppy top will do well into the Gragas. Double AP solo lineage helps her out in the build. KOI's comp, I mean, if you just look at me and I tell you Viktor, Zeri, Lulu, you know, what do you expect them to do? They're going to wait for 4 or 5 items.
I mean, kind of, yeah. They're champions who... I mean, it's Viktor filling a very similar role to what an Azir would do, but Azir, of course, banned. The difference is Viktor doesn't really have that mobility. That said, late in the game, Q auto from a Viktor, you're half healthing to 80% healthing a lot of carries if you can get close of. Xayah doesn't have a huge auto attack range.
Yeah, we'll see how much Fnatic can cook up in this early to mid game, because I think their mid game is really strong. I think KOI is lacking a little bit in mid game when it comes to having big spikes. So I think they're playing a little bit defensive in the early stages. Tank top, maybe Malrang can do something in the early stages, you know, take away some camps, slow down the early game by taking away red buff or something, but we'll have to see. But Fnatic, good team fight. KOI relying on scaling for good team fight.
Certainly the case. Will Malrang be enough to balance it out in the early game, or can they fire back in the bot lane? Perhaps something we'll have to keep track of. KOI weathering the storm, going late, a story we've heard before. Have to see if it'll work out for them this time around against a surging Fnatic. Excellent week 1 for Fnatic. We'll see if they can keep it going as we get into our 3rd game of the day. And you know what?
Tell me.
Every plate of pasta needs a little bit of cheese.
Bro, I think we're about to have the kitchen on fire in a second.
Everybody's cooking.
Aww.
The sous chefs, everybody's here.
KOI don't want no cooking.
I don't know if you've seen the menu, but this is basically the plot of the menu.
Fnatic really want I heard some laughs in the audience, so they definitely got the reference. Fnatic really want to look for a fight there. But yeah, nothing given. Malrang's actually running Aftershock Vi, so no Conqueror, so I presume he's going full tank, Radiant, Virtue. Normally on Vi, you go things like the Black Cleaver, but
I know.
yeah. No, we're scaling, Daniel Drakos. We're Cull.
We're
chilling.
All right, it's time.
It's one of those games where, you know, you're sitting in your chair, you just recline it back a bit.
Yep. Relax. Oh, Szygenda. Now just trying to run for his life. Humanoid poking. But he's got the phase rush. And while it is just a phase, he'll move his way back up to top lane.
And I think Fnatic have a lot of options. We'll see how they play it out. I like the way Fnatic plays recently, the last 3 games, sorry. Very heavy bot side.
Yep.
I would like to see them keep that up. Razork really likes that level 4 play towards bot to zone off waves.
See if they want to replicate that this time around. And Noah really has been the center of attention, I think, for the Fnatic lineup, and for good reason. He's died exactly once. And that 80% kill participation, I feel like, is only possible because Razork is spending so much of his time on the bottom side. But it shows you what this team is all about. Trymbi trying to further extend this advantage. Ignite now. Ticking. Comp trying to keep this one going. Trymbi definitely overstaying his welcome a little bit. Advienne, is he going to
get him, Advienne.
It's a little personal here on the bottom side.
No, it definitely is. Of course, they just swapped teams last split. And so we'll see what happens. Trymbi had to flash away already. He's playing Hex Flash Rakan, so that won't sting as much. But here comes the level 2 for KOI's bot lane after that melee creep. And so Fnatic have to respect and back away. Nice try on the level 1 with the Xayah Rakan. They got the cleanse, they got the heal. But overall, losing for Fnatic.
Yeah, didn't get either of the flashes, which is crucial there. So credit to Advienne and Comp for kind of keeping a cool head as Malrang now showing his face on the bottom side of the map. Will they go for an early dive here?
This really stings Razork, doesn't it? So the ward will be there and he's level 3, but he's going to have to chase Malrang down now. Oh, Trymbi missed.
Up, nice. Side step coming in from Comp. Comp now backing off. Noah's continuing to step forward, getting the flash out now, but Malrang on the way down, and the minions, as well as Advienne doing so much work.
Ooh. Didn't have to flash in the end. Yeah, the ward's going to spot out Malrang, so now Razork knows what happens. See if he tries to make a play of his own.
Advienne
no flash on Comp.
Comp, Trymbi burning. First blood now coming through. Immediate follow-up from Razork. But I don't know if that was a good deal.
Can they bait the Vi? Does Malrang know that it's warded? Razork can just W this. Or sidestep it.
Step is clean. 2 buffs to 1, but it might not matter. Razork continuing to step forward. Armor stacking up. Conqueror fully stacked. Bit more poke onto Malrang.
Yeah, they got the wave in. I think that's what they were looking for. But Advienne's trying to pull it back away from the tower, and I think he successfully did. So the jungler's duking it out. Malrang's gonna get a base off. It's a 1-for-1 overall. First blood to Advienne, but a kill over to Razork. Someone has blown across the board. Just Noah and Advienne having that flash still available for the 2v2. Trymbi's now level 2. Is he gonna dive top level 2? Szygenda's around 30-40% HP if Oscar can get a better trade in. Doesn't have the ignite yet though, so maybe he's just expecting Malrang to look for a top crab and he's just hovering in case a fight breaks out.
Just trying to cover, it would seem.
Yeah, maybe he can invade. Of course, Malrang went red into blue Gromp on their side, so if they actually walk up in here, they can take away Malrang's camp. So,
ward shut down.
Did they see Trymbi?
But they can check. They can hit a cheeky tab and see that's the only person on the enemy team with a sweeper is Trymbi.
Yep.
So they can ascertain that he is in the area. I assume they would check on that info, and it does give them the information that Xayah is all on her lonesome on the bottom side. Noah gonna have to weather the storm a little bit there as Humanoid continuing to put pressure in the mid lane, kind of as expected of the Syndra in this early game.
Yeah, and as that wave gets pushed in, Trymbi should arrive to catch the experience and cover any kind of dive threat. They know Malrang is topside, and I think really good heads-up play by Trymbi to just move topside, knowing that the wave's gonna bounce anyway, help his jungler to secure a buff to make sure jungle is even. Now it's ahead, and Trymbi could look for a knock-up, but he's just gonna decide against it. Very big wave to play into. Of course, as soon as you start going on them, all the minions will turn onto you.
Yep.
So he's just gonna pick up the wave here, Noah. And Ghost is up soon.
Yeah, I like the move to threaten a little bit there, but it's cold start to cold start right now, however. It wasn't cold start to cold start. A cold coming in a little bit later for Noah. Means the comp's a bit ahead of the curve there. And Malrang. Double wards off the Scryer's Bloom. Relatively quiet early game. I will say that I like that KOI were fishing for some plays around the bottom side of the map, because week 1 they were very chill in a way that didn't say like, hey, it's our plan not to do a lot. It more said that they weren't really finding the angles.
Yeah. I think Fnatic were kind of chill last week as well. They drafted that full scaling comp into XL, and they just kind of waited. You know, they were playing Kindred Aphelios Yuumi, waited for their power spikes, won a fight, game was over. Here they have to be a bit more proactive though, so we'll see if they can be proactive into KOI. It's all about the bot side 3v3 really, isn't it? And Razork is going to find Malrang. In the extended trade, Razork will win out because of Aftershock, but of course they have bot push, so Razork can't really trade back onto the Vi. Just has to get pushed out of this river. Has a pink ward to work with, so we'll see how he decides to use that to navigate back down here. It's going to put it on Drake, just in case Malrang tries to sneak it away.
Yeah. That's one of the nice things about the Aftershock, especially if you're not going to try to force the fights, then it's very good that you're just successfully nullifying a lot of what Razork wants to do in the early game by just keeping them away from the bottom side of the map. Level 6 is going to be the big break point that we have to keep our eye on.
Yeah.
So Oscar's mostly focused on getting that wave and not as interested in trading with the Gragas. Always kind of a losing proposition to trade against a Gragas, I feel like.
Nice trading by Advienne. And now Szygenda's looking onto Oscar. I think it's funny how we alluded to Advienne being this engaged support player, and Trymbi is going to be this range support player, but now they're doing the opposite kind of thing. Just goes to show, you know, you have tendencies, but you're more than happy to play a plethora of champs that are meta.
And while I think Trymbi definitely in recent years has been more known for, you know, when Lux Caitlyn was popular, he was a guy that was always willing to go towards the Lux. I think one of his OG champions was the Rakan. This is kind of what we've gotten used to seeing him on. And Advienne, Lulu certainly strong in the meta at this exact moment as Comp leaps out over the wall. Again, pretty positive trade. Oscar knock back there, sidestep. What?
That was not
that
a
was
bumper.
a whiff. Big whiff. Oscarinin now fishing for the knockback here. Is going to send Malrang
Later.
home. It's past his curfew, so knocked out of that one as Razork now on the bottom side. Big burst coming in from Malrang. That's the power of the E, the Q, everything really connecting. Yes, he wins an extended trade. He still wants to keep this one going. Has to be careful here as the Q is charged up. We'll just walk away. Malrang sent packing. Humanoid now could wander into the jungle, just fish for something, but is going to be happy with the ward as Oscar and Szygenda just go right back to fist fighting like nothing happened.
Yeah, it's like nothing ever happened. You can see the Conqueror in the extended trade is just paying its dividends in the long run for Razork. So yeah, the initial burst will be pretty high. Malrang didn't even have Sheen there, and he's building what looks to be the Black Cleaver. We'll have to see with Aftershock anyway. So not going to go towards that full tank. Szygenda's going the AP build, likely some kind of Everfrost.
Yep.
So the front line that we expected for KOI might be a bit weaker than Fnatic's with the Poppy Wukong. So the bot lane's been taking some pretty heavy trades down here.
Yeah, Comp continuing to get pretty aggressive. I think hard to go for the dive with this duo unless you're very, very far ahead in health, but they're continuing to build up a health advantage. Mana as well for Trymbi getting lower and lower, so extended laning phase very heavily favoring KOI. 27 creeps left till Comp is fully stacked there on that Cole.
Yeah, we are chilling down here.
Ooh.
Razork's getting close to that 6. Flashes are up for everyone.
And let me tell you, KOI are chilling.
Oh, yeah? Oh, bro,
second lowest CKPM in the league. Knockup from Trymbi, no more mana though, means he has to back off. That's combined kills per minute. It's usually a representation of how bloody games are. KOI games, not bloody.
Nope. They are
very quiet. But they are usually winning in the early game, and credit to them, they are still 200 to 300 gold ahead here. So see if they can keep that lead going. Because I think as we get later, we talked about scaling obviously being the name of the game for KOI here, but I just think in late game fights, I'm always going to trust a Zeri just a lot more than I'm going to trust a Xayah. You can have these hero moments with Xayah. She can peel for herself, and that's a great thing, but Zeri does Zeri things pretty consistently since she was released into this game.
I think if a champion's name becomes a verb,
yeah,
there's something wrong with that champion.
Just Zeriing it?
I'm just Zeriing right now.
Yeah, just absolutely Zeriing.
Every single time there's a verbiage, like usage from a name, you know, you're just OP. So yeah, we'll see what Comp can do. It's going to base on a lot of gold. Still 10 stacks on that Cull. Going to build towards that Trinity Force. And Dragon hasn't been started yet. It's 9 minutes 30. No one's fancied themselves a Herald. Everyone's just laning. Junglers are full clearing, but Trymbi's moved up towards his top side. Close to 6, so he might have to soak this mid wave from Humanoid here to get over. So we'll see if he does that to make sure he can ding over for this Herald fight. There he is.
The Barrel Classic from 2021 Worlds?
Yeah.
Nope. Spotted out.
The Barrel Alistar Classic, wasn't it? 2021 Worlds. You'd love to see it. Well, 2020 Worlds was it?
20? I can't keep
Nevertheless,
track,
Trymbi's hovering,
COVID years are
hoping that Humanoid gets that one more creep. Come on, Humanoid, give me that level up. And now he's going to run with Razork up towards his top side.
There it is.
So they can contest this Herald. But are they too late? Did Humanoid not push fast enough? Let's see.
Okay, it's getting leashed. Oscar now on the way in. Can they just steal this one away? Trymbi maybe fishing for an angle. Who gets the smite? And Razork takes it away. Trymbi locked up, but there's the knockup. There's the follow-up. Malrang now out, and immediately Razork turns and he burns, but Larssen over the wall. Big damage coming in for the Viktor, trying to get one back. The Chaos Storm ticking, and it will take down the Wukong. Fnatic still coming out on top, however. 2-for-1 trade overall and stealing the Herald.
The game ignites into a 5v5. 2-for-1, like you said, in favor of Fnatic. Manages to steal it. Razork, great engage next to Trymbi. They were all stacked up. A lot of disengage had to come through, most notably from the bot lane of KOI. But Comp ends up falling, and I think the fight's kind of lost from there, isn't it? Malrang's going in way too early onto this Xayah, and although the Xayah ult doesn't come out on the buy ult, the range that Malrang is at right now as to where Comp is just way too far. By the time he catches up, Malrang's already dead. Look at this turn from Trymbi already with the the charm and the knockup stops the E as well, to stop them from getting out. The gravity field actually does so much work next to the Chaos Storm from Larssen to actually turn something back into this fight to get Razork, but yeah, the engage was clean, and Malrang needs to make sure he plays with his carries a bit more.
And for KOI, it was really just like probably the worst possible timing for Fnatic to arrive at that objective, for Fnatic to contest. And of course, they have an approximate knowledge of when they're going to come in, but very tricky situation. Super split. Szygenda zoned off by Oscar, Larssen in his own jungle. It was just not a good fight whatsoever. If they had taken the Herald, you could have tanked the 2-for-1 exchange on kills, but the fact that Fnatic steal the Herald too is brutal, because now they're also starting Drake, and KOI don't have nearly enough members on the map to even remotely try and contest this. Yeah, the Wukong is really powerful right now. Syndra Spike is always the sweet spot for junglers in the early game. 11 minutes in, he's picked that one up. 1K! Caedrel.
1K.
Individual gold lead.
That comes from the first kill he got in bot when he mashed 3v3. The second kill he got in the topside river, that's 600 roughly. And then the Heralds, which is obviously local gold and picking up the 200. So yeah, he's sitting pretty happily, especially with that camp lead, got a level lead. I think every 2v2/3v3 on the map right now is Fnatic favored, so it's just a case of how they use this Herald. Oscar has it, obviously, so I mean, the easy way is just dropping it top, but I would love to see some kind of shift from top to mid to use it for Humanoid.
Pump more money into the Syndra, obviously, if she can get snowballing early, she can take over a game.
They have double TP and Humanoid spacing. There's a ward behind KOI's bot lane and they have no flashes. If they overstep here, TP's going to come in.
Ulti now goes in. The retreat now trying to come out from comp. The ulti used, the wild growth used, but there's just too many members on the bottom side. They don't even need both TPs. They're just using one.
They just use one. I saw Humanoid basing, so it looks like the call was for Humanoid to base and cover top, and that's how you use the Herald. You know, you don't want to use it top for the Poppy. Oscar getting himself involved, TP ward behind. Get in there and get Noah some gold. And then what the beauty of this rotation from Fnatic was the fact that Humanoid can base and run top from base. Oscar can run from bot to mid, so they don't actually lose any waves on any of the lanes, while also getting Herald onto this bot tier 1. So I think the whole macro setup was just perfect for Fnatic.
I love the dynamic lane assignments. It's something you just literally never see in solo queue. People adjusting on the fly what waves to pick up without it being like a crime. You know?
Exactly. It's the most efficient way, right? Syndra can't really run mid because then Poppy can't get to top. So, you know, you just shift up one, +1 in every lane upwards, and then, yeah, Oscar can just take over mid for a little bit. Obviously, you'll have to swap back, but that's not going to be too hard. As you push out these waves with Syndra, you can start to run mid now, and Oscar can run back up.
And this is a huge deal, because moments before that play broke out, Comp was almost 1,000 gold ahead of Noah. Now he's only 500. You've halved that lead. Really not that significant at this point in the game. We'll be able to finish the Mythic soon, and that might help a bit, but already seeing the Kraken in the hands of Noah, Fnatic again, resuming. It feels like a brief pause in the early game around their bot-focused playstyle as KOI were able to kind of limit it, and now where's Razork? Right back to the bottom side of the map, home sweet home.
I think Fnatic would love to do the same play again, but with Humanoid being involved this time, the only worry you have now is KOI has double TP, so as much as you can make the proactive play, it can backfire very quickly, so Fnatic needs to be careful. Oscar getting a grass stack, he says farewell. But you can see, look at the minimap again, just to bring it up quickly, they put a ward behind them now, so KOI's kind of saying, you know what, we'll try the same thing.
Our turn.
But it seems that Comp's actually going top instead, so they've got some kind of swap going on here, KOI. I'm trying to think as to why they would be doing this. Herald's 2 minutes away, so it's quite early. And maybe there's some kind of freeze on bots from Noah, where he's just like, I need gold. No, it's just going to be stacking. So I think they're just going to say, maybe we can trade towers, tier 1 for tier 1 on sides, but I don't think Oscar is going to be diveable.
Bit tricky. Razork gonna get body slammed when he's invincible, because again, I think it's
What? Where did he stop push? Where did he stop push? Where did he stop push?
That was the worst stopwatch I've seen in years! Szygenda now running. It was a prank, bro. Let him leave. It was a prank.
I was just kidding, guys. Please, no, the knockup. He flashed into it. He flashed into the knockup. What? That was disgusting. That was disgusting. Don't make me watch that. That was a good stopwatch. That was a good stopwatch. That's how you use the stopwatch.
I was going to talk about Evan Shroud for Oscar, because I like that as a tank item for the team, but...
So they got bots out.
Do we pretend like that never happened? Do we just never talk about that
I think if you're definitely on his team and you press tab and look bots, just say, nice try. No, we have to watch it again.
Okay, here we go. So first, a miracle happens. Gragas, unbeknownst to him, saves his own life.
Wild Wukong has appeared.
Wild Wukong appeared.
And they tried to say go Pokeball, but then he accidentally clicked run.
Yes.
But actually, don't run. Stopwatch.
He picked Pokeball when he should have picked run, Mark. I think is what we're trying to say. He had an opportunity to run from the very strong Pokemon.
And then he clicked run again, but it says now you can't flee.
Yeah. This is like early seasons Ash Ketchum. Just absolutely running it. Getting assaulted by a Pikachu. Just like zero hope.
My god. So no flash, all stopwatch now. And I think that stopwatch came from his room, so that stinks.
Wow.
It's always something with Szygenda, isn't
It's always
it?
something with us. Why is it every time we
Yeah,
cast
it's also
this
with
stuff
us.
happens? Knockback, Malrang,
I think it's Q
He's
ult and
probably
he's dead.
dead.
No? Flash Q ults from Humanoid?
EQ. Oh, nice flash out. Wild
TP behind.
coming in.
Here comes Oscar.
The retreat. But now there's 3 members on the bottom side, and Comp is probably the one who's going to be in trouble. Are they going to try to fight this? Noah on the way down too. TP now coming in. You mentioned the play earlier. Knock back into the wall, though. Immediately Malrang about to get taken out here. Shield coming in. Aftershock ticking, but it's not enough. Now Noah and Trymbi onto the backside.
Oh, Trymbi. Oh, Trymbi.
It's down. Trymbi might get taken out, but can they keep the fight going? Larssen desperately trying to hold on, but the feathers fly, and down go KOI Szygenda. He just got back. He just respawned, and back into the grave he goes.
Fnatic are relentless, aren't they? Pushing out bot there. KOI, they managed to collapse down. Razork gets his 500th LEC kill. 100% kill participation this game. 5-1 and 5. And they don't take their foot off the gas. Humanoid's TPing top. He wants to push that wave in and try to get a tower off the back of that. They're going to get the second dragon too. So Fnatic really have come alive in summer.
Fnatic popping off. Obviously, we're still only on the 4th game of the season, but definitely looking like a team that has been reborn here in the Summer Split. We talk about the support swap. It has done wonders for the team. Trymbi showing up clutch in that fight, and I think Razork, the other big benefactor. We've heard him say it in interviews, but now that Trymbi is calling a lot more of the shots, Razork just gets to focus on being a hands gamer, and the hands are good.
KOI's trying to push out bots here. Advienne and Comp trying to get the wave out. TP behind from Oscar, and here he comes in. Malrang realizes he can't run away. So you can see Oscar and Razork off to the side, take him out. Comp's pushed back from the Scatter of the Week. TP comes in from both the solo laners, but their jungler's already dead. And then watch Trymbi here, double knock-up, double charm. Everyone's basically CC'd from the Rakan. And it feels different because Fnatic, as soon as things are happening on the map, they're decisive. The TP's already coming in, they're already collapsing bot, they're chasing the kills, and then as soon as that happens, Humanoid's TPing top. Things like that is what you want to see. Decision making in the moment, split-second calls, just to make sure you're getting at least something from winning plays. And it feels like now Fnatic with this 5,000 gold leads, 2 dragons, they're going to start to run away with it. They're going to have side lane prio. This Herald's up. That should be an easy pickup. That has a free mid tower segue as well. There's a lot of easy plays for Fnatic here.
Yep, zooming around the map now. This stage of the game, they're simply too far ahead. KOI gonna need a big man or pressure advantage to get anything done on the map. See if Fnatic make any missteps right now, but they are in total control. We highlighted it in the draft, and we can say it again. Scaling, if we go late enough, still incredibly powerful for KOI. Larssen and Comp, if they get on an objective first, it is so difficult for Fnatic to approach without a flank. That said, when you're at this kind of deficit, getting first set up on any objective is a tall task.
It really is. So Humanoid's top with no TP. It's a 1-3-1 right now for Fnatic. Looks like KOI's only real way to match this is just kind of group mid, and the whole purpose of grouping mid in their comp is just to clear waves. They need time. When you're playing like a Lucian Nami comp or with an Ahri, you can really start threatening these mid waves and pushing them back, but there's no threat. It's just get some shallow vision in your own jungle, make sure you're fine to catch these waves, and hold on until the next dragon.
Scaling.
Yeah.
Everyone's favorite kind of gameplay. To be fair, Viktor does it well. They clear well. As long as they don't give up a Baron, it should be pretty easy for them to hold on to most of these objectives. As you highlighted before, Herald is up. It'll break at least 1 tower, most likely in mid lane.
Yeah, you're just kind of hanging on for dear life. The only thing I hate about scaling is the game's not... It is kind of in your hands, the game, but it's not really. You know, if they play properly around setups of objectives, it becomes so frustrating to start contesting camps because you have no... neutral back, sorry, because you have no lanes of push, and these kind of things happen.
Yeah, like, Malrang, who you kidding? What's that Q for? You're going out, one direction.
Yeah, they can't walk into your own jungle. Your jungler starts to bleed out. Here comes the Herald. So Herald bot tier 2. Oscar's got a wave stacked up. All of Fnatic's moving down. So this is going to be a 5v5 siege. I mean, Comp's a little bit far. They'll get the crash. Can they get the tower is the question, or does KOI want to pull the trigger? Their engage sucks, though. It's only on Szygenda.
Herald charges. Trymbi off to the side.
Oh, they have no threats. What's stopping Fnatic from walking up? What are they scared of?
They also rotate way faster to mid lane, so with the mid wave pretty even, they might be able to push that in and get mid lane tower as well. Comp has to be careful about approaching the wave without his entire team there.
And you might be like, Caedrel, aren't you scared of the Vi engage? Yeah, the chainsword aftershock Vi. It's kind of like, who's going to follow up? If Viktor's not in range to flash ult as well, I think there's
context is important, you know what I mean?
There's no kill there, is there? I mean, there's a Xayah ult. I think when Humanoid picks up a stopwatch, he's basically run out of targets.
If I see a woman with giant robot fists barreling down on me, I'm terrified. Unless there's a Wukong with like a bunch of different swords in his hands, then I'm probably chilling. You know?
Isn't it staff?
What is Divine Sunderer?
Oh, you're looking at items.
I'm looking at items. Like no, he has a staff.
He's got a very long staff. Have you seen how long that staff is?
It's a big.
It can go to the moon.
Monkey King, baby.
Monkey King. No, I don't know what Sunder is. Enhance. Enhance.
Zoom us in.
Zoom us in. Yeah, no idea. It looks a bit like a sword, really.
If you're enjoying watching KOI play today, they'll also play tomorrow versus Team Heretics in our LG Ultra Gear match of the week.
Big. Game 3.
Game 3.
Not Game 5. Game 3.
Middle of the day now.
It looks like a club. I've changed my mind. It's some kind of like sword club.
Yeah. Let us know what it is if you're a member of the art, design, or LEC fandom. Those are the 3 groups that I want to hear from.
So,
Zoom in. Tell us.
40 seconds on Dragon. KOI, 2 options, or 3 really. 1 is to trade it for top tower, which is not a good trade, but obviously it gets you something. 2 is to try and rush down a Baron while they're on Drake, or 3 is to fight it. But looking at where their jungle support is right now with 30 seconds on objective, I can tell you for a fact they're not fighting that Dragon. So it looks like they're going to go for the tower, but Fnatic can then start sieging through mid. Comp has no assistance to threaten them, to force them back. And now Fnatic can...
Oh.
I think they suspect some kind of Baron rush.
Wait. Do they know? Humanoid on the top side?
Are they going to know?
How would they know?
Pings. I think they know. Do they know?
They know. Okay, so 4 members now committed for KOI on the top side of the map just to make sure they can push that wave in. No. Bit tricky now. Gold lead just continues to grow in favor of Fnatic. Do they want to focus this objective down? It is not the fastest take in the game. With a very fed Wukong and a fed Xayah, it's certainly quick, but...
I mean, I think what they're saying is Szygenda needs to base soon. Look how far Oscar is on bot tower. So if he bases, we can probably start Nash and then force the TP out of him and then just back off towards Dragon. That might be the idea. Trymbi's going to blind W this maybe?
Szygenda now just going to retreat. Knockup is there. Trymbi, bit of a blinking health bar.
He's losing so many creeps on bot wave. Oscar's pushed all the way into tier 3. Szygenda really needs to get that back off, but now he's realized that's going to be gone by the time he bases. Now he needs to stay. I think Fnatic are threatening to force his TP here, and he's just kind of being pulled around after getting that base stopped.
Money's just being deleted off the map. Money that KOI desperately need, and credit to Fnatic for keeping a cool head. How many times have we seen teams just 50-50 Barons? That was an opportunity to do it, and they're not going to fall for it. Comp checking, immediately wallbang. KOI.
I think the beauty of all of this, actually, and props to Fnatic, is a lot of teams would have just started Dragon. It's been a minute, the Dragon's been up. Instead, they hover around Baron. They know bot wave needs to crash. They threaten the Gragas away, and when the wave's crashed and gone, then they'll go to Dragon. So they actually find a play on top of a play, kind of. And it's not a huge one. You know, the Poppy getting a massive CS lead is not going to be game-changing, but it's actually getting gold benefits across the map, so well played by them. KOI, as much as they're scaling, they're running out of time here. It sounds weird to say, but this Baron force is going to come in soon, and they're just going to have to throw everything at the wall and see if they can at least go even in this Baron fight.
And here you can see, Quisha highlighted in the previous game, combat gold. That is the amount of gold worth of items that you have. 10K lead for the side of Fnatic in terms of effective gold. A lot in consumables there. Corrupting Pot obviously going to knock that down a bit, even though it does give you some in combat. So this is a tough fight for KOI to navigate.
Yep.
Short of keeping Comp alive, ulted for 30 seconds so he can just stack ad nauseum. It's not really a lot of good angles here.
Yeah, I think the Baron Force will come in soon. The only really annoying thing for Fnatic is Noah doesn't have Bloodthirster. If he had BT, they would happily go for this Baron rush. So maybe they're going to be a little bit hesitant until then and just threaten it until...
and I gotta say, I like Navori over Gale Force here. Lets you shred the objective much quicker, and also Gale Force not going to save you from a Vi ultimate.
Oh, Razork.
Just poking around here.
Well, Shrelia's used there. Fnatic going to go back to mid-wave. And I guess the sweet spot for KOI now is they're all grouped up. There's no real side lane threat, so all they have to do is match numbers. But no E on Szygenda. I think Oscar was looking for a stun there. It's on a knife's edge. KOI need to walk up and get vision, but the only one with wards is Advienne. If you could look at KOI's vision observers, you can see they see absolutely nothing. Larssen just bought Rabadons. Where's the blue orbs? How many blue orbs have they got? There's one.
Spotting it out, 10K.
Baron's not going to go down too quickly.
Getting lower. TP now coming in.
Trymbi was
on the
spotted,
flank. They see him there. Humanoid continuing to poke. They're going to get the objective. KOI immediately running for the hills. They thought they had a little bit more time there, not respecting the potential. Navori, those E's coming in over and over again for Noah and for Fnatic to clear that objective. Interrupt on Oscar, then jump in, but Razork right into the Trymbi follow-up. Fnatic taking the fight thus far. Szygenda goes golden, now tries to turn back onto Noah. Noah quite not firing the ult the right way, but Szygenda now running for the hills, and Fnatic just tearing through them. Comp still standing, but Noah wants to finish the job. A double for Humanoid, a Baron, and a massive fight for Fnatic. This is a stomp.
Where's Humanoid's flash? He's going to commit it. No, I think Advienne is dead no matter what. So Szygenda, only man left standing. Razork gets taken down. You could see KOI didn't want to fight that in the first place, but I think a small interaction happens to KOI there, which actually allowed Fnatic to get engaged. I think Szygenda W'd as Razork flashed in. I'm not sure if that was intentional, but that means he couldn't E him. So if you actually see as the Baron dies, Fnatic want to fight. KOI don't want to fight. There's no point fighting. The Baron's gone. We just need to stall, get this wave, go bot, get that wave, and try to stall the game out. But I think what happens here is, as Szygenda throws his next Q, he's going to W straight after it, and then he can't land the E on the Rakan engage. So you'll see here, throws Q, he's going to W, but now he can't stop Razork, so he gets on top of 3 and those nice carries as well, right? So I think that really hurts KOI at the beginning of this fight. Comp manages to get a little bit of damage back with the Chaos Storm to force Razork out. And I think you'll see him pick up the kill as Razork goes back in. Maybe he could have just backed off. Didn't want to leave Oscar, but gets taken down. Noah flashes over the wall and they get the kill. Fnatic get the Baron, 4 kills. Souls up in around a minute and 30 seconds, minute and 40 seconds.
That's a 10k gold lead. And you can see the damage numbers from the carries on the side of KOI are starting to get more and more respectable. But it just might not matter. Fnatic with the Baron buff, they break open the base. It's going to be pretty hard for KOI to survive any further. That said, again, Viktor wave cleared, pretty strong. TP coming in as Szygenda wants to stand strong and make sure they can't break open that inhibitor line, but Oscar already split pushing.
Yeah, trying to push in those mid waves, has the TP if anything happens. See if they go for an engage here, KOI.
Malrang just short on the Q there.
It's so hard, isn't it? Humanoid has flash, Noah has ult, really go on. Razork's not your target. Just gonna have to hold the Vi ult for now and maybe just try and slow this siege down. Viktor's got a little bit of wave clear. The Zeri is getting stronger towards that Bloodthirster. So 80 items, if you look at the items here, despite being down 1k gold, there's a... It's not that much discrepancy, just a crit cloak benefit right now for Noah.
Yep. Here's Trymbi shout, go, go, go. He's ready to match the play here, taking the time. Caedrel is now coming out. Interrupt from Szygenda this time around is clutch, but the tower has already fallen.
Yeah, Inhib's dead. No mid wave though, but you can see Fnatic are playing on top wave because they want to go top to mid to bot. They want to shift from top downwards towards the dragon in 30 seconds. They're going to move towards mid now. Bases can't come out. You can see close to Rabadons, close to Guardian Angel, close to Bloodthirster. Those are 3 massive items if they pick them up now. And I think that's as good as game if they get those. So there's 1, there's 2. And Razork, let's see if he has it. He's standing in base. Does he have the Guardian Angel? And if he does, I think this dragon fight is going to be horrific for KOI. They're going to have a miracle. Yeah, there's 3.
I'm going to be honest with you, Mark. I think it might have been horrific even without the GA.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a big deficit. 10k difference. Yep. Again, the carry's relatively close, but the stopwatch is going to matter a lot in the fight to come for Noah. Another tool to interrupt any potential engage or follow-up. Fnatic take full control. KOI grouping, pushing into the bottom side of the map, willing to sacrifice that wave. This is an all-or-nothing play. If they die here, the game will end in the favor of Fnatic.
They can double TP as well, Fnatic. There's no TPs on KOI, so they didn't have to opt into this fight, but I think they're so strong that they might just go for it.
Oscar, Trymbi waiting over the wall, Szygenda over the wall as well. Can't E over now, trying to get out to safety, sidestep, fancy footwork, but Szygenda now still in trouble. The cast coming out, but he just gets 1 shot. Humanoid, so much damage. The double stun. He gets it done. The Syndra so damn strong. You got super minions in the base. You got a Cloud Soul to boot. The dragon gonna try to reset, but it does not get the opportunity. Advienne,
no flash.
Just easy pickings at this point. TP coming in. Fnatic, bit slower in the early game, but once they got control, they never gave it up. KOI falling to pieces at the hands of Fnatic here. Razork might just get taken down. Proc the GA. Trymbi going in for Larssen too. You can tell it's personal. Former teammates, now rivals, now enemies, now competitors. They want to finish the job on Larssen. The knockback from Oscar to make sure he gets the kill. Well played from Fnatic, moving up to 3-1 in the LEC Summer Split.
It just looks like everything's clicking. Things are coming together. These are like the things we expected. The top side's playing well. Oscar looks really comfortable on stage now. The bot lane's playing fantastically. Their game that they played against G2, even though they lost, when I looked back at the VoD, there was a few windows where Fnatic actually played sequences well. They just threw dragon fights away with a lot of miscommunication with Humanoid and Nico. But these other 4 games they've been playing have just been, they've all been on the same page. They've been so decisive.
When we compare this to Spring, it's truly an incredible jump up in performance.
Oh, yeah,
the fact that we're talking about them, comparing them to a team like G2 who's had the same roster all year, who's had a ton of success this year already, is fantastic praise for a team that we always knew had potential, but never really showed it on stage this year.
And I can't get a read on KOI either. I don't know. It looked, obviously last split was rough, but now it looks like they're still in that same kind of boat. I mean, that game, they were playing Viktor, Zeri, Lulu, and they couldn't really do anything, which is understandable, but nothing really happened anyway. So it's a tough one to say where KOI lie in strength as a team right now.
Right now, I feel like maybe the patch just doesn't favor them, which is rough because this is the best one, but you got to make top 8 on this patch no matter how you feel about it. And Clearly trying some stuff. I think the team play isn't quite all there. I feel like, you know, the early game, something that in the past felt so explosive and consistent for KOI, in years past rather, just has not been there in this split or in the previous split, and that's limiting. I think a lot of what they can do. Player of the game at LEC though, talking back about Fnatic on Twitter, Oscarinin, Razork, and Trymbi.
I think Razork had a fantastic game. There was a point after that Dragon fight where he had 100% KP. He got his 500th kill in the LEC as well, so nice day for him to celebrate. And I think for Fnatic fans to celebrate, because there's a lot to be happy about. I think we're hearing rumors and whispers about the team being strong coming into summer. And although they lost to G2, I still think it's obviously a big jump in performance.
And scrim rumors are a dime a dozen, but Fnatic have shown us that they're a team and a force to be reckoned with here. And, you know, don't want to credit it all to Trymbi. There's obviously a lot of people working behind the scenes, but it clearly has been an upgrade. And the fact that he's communicating, freeing up Razork to do what he wants to do is paying off. Razork, a guy on Misfits who had the reputation for just being good. He gets in your jungle, he does crazy stuff, and it works. And we're seeing, again, that level of performance from him even better over the years as he's improved. And seeing him kind of play at full skill reminds you why he was such an impressive jungler, why he was such a desired pickup in the past. That's enough for us now. Let's send it over to Trouble and Trymbi after that dominant victory.
Thank you very much, Drakos. Trymbi, congratulations. Starting the week off strong.
Thank you.
Are you happy with the current performance that Fnatic has been showing this split?
I think we've been doing pretty well, I would say. For sure, we had some shaky performances overall, but I think it's just normal for a team like us, especially when we change, they changed the whole bot lane, right? So it's not, it kind of changes a lot when it comes to the dynamics of the team. And for now, it's been doing really great. This game was very good, I would say. Even though, you know, bot lane was not as ideal as we would like it to be, for sure at first, but we managed to pull it off through team fights.
You know what you said? We changed the whole bot lane.
Yeah,
you were part of that change, Trymbi. You used to play over there, now you're playing over there against the guy who was playing over there.
Yes.
So how has that change been for you?
For me, it's been pretty good. I really enjoyed overall, being here. I'm really happy with how things are, and overall the boys here are making me feel like I'm welcomed, well welcomed, and I would say that we've been doing really good stuff lately, and I can see that we can go far if we play well. So we just need to keep pushing.
Absolutely, and last time the team has seen success over in Fnatic was 2018.
Okay.
And this particular split looks so good with you in the team, Trymbi.
Okay.
How do you feel being part of that team growing to be such a great team that we're seeing right now?
I don't know, we're just having fun. And we've been enjoying playing, I would say, each of us. And I feel like that's the most important aspect of it. And because of it, just good things happen, I would say. And I don't want to over-exaggerate because it's second week, you know, I would just let...
Come on, do it. Give us an overreaction.
No, I really think we should just, you know... But I don't know, we're playing really well, and I'm really happy. I didn't expect it to be this good. So I think that, it's crazy, actually, that it looks like this, and we'll see how it goes in the next 2 games, especially versus Mad Lions, right?
Oh, absolutely. And you have a lot of experience playing with Malrang, playing with a Korean player. Now you've got a Korean player down in the bot lane. How has the communication been between you two?
You know, they're both Koreans, right? So it's easy. Now it's easy for me to work a bit with Noah, with the experience I've got throughout the year and a half, pretty much. But also, I would say Noah is a bit of a different just person, characteristic-wise. He's so open, so I don't know, he's just so welcoming, and he's so open-minded with everything. He loves to talk. It's a bit, I've never seen such a person who just loves to talk. And that's really easy, because even if there is a language barrier, it doesn't really matter, because he will try to find words. He will try to find words, even if he doesn't know the words. And he will try to make sure, and because of it, that I worked with Malrang, now I understand a bit the, thought process behind why they use these words. So it's so nice for me to see that he's trying so hard to find words, and I kind of understand what he actually means. So it still helps a lot to work with him pretty much because of the experience I've got.
Absolutely, and with him talking too much, I know that you're pretty vocal when it comes down to the bot lane. So which one of you takes the reins when it comes to that early 2v2?
I think first time for me right now is the fact that I'm trying to take more to be disciplined on the bot lane, trying to actually maneuver when before you know it. But I mean, it's still I would still say it's like AD carry kind of thing that, you know, he's the one who actually wants to base with a little bit more gold. I'm just the one that is gonna get most likely a ruby at best after the first base. So it doesn't really matter for me. But yeah, I'm trying to make sure that we're thinking like pretty much or like try to think of the same page so we can both be happy with how we play the laning phases. For now, I think it's still shaky, but I think it's completely normal that sometimes we just don't think the same way. But I think, you know, I like how it goes right now, and he's really aggressive, so it will be good.
If it looks that good, when you call it shaky, we can't wait to see when you say it looks really good, what it really looks like. Thank you so much, Trymbi. Congrats again on a banger day 1 on week 2. And we'll be back quite shortly. Team Vitality versus G2 right after this.
One away, Trymbi maybe fishing for an angle. Who gets the smite? And Razork takes it away. Trymbi locked up, but there's the knock-up, there's the bomb. Malrang now out, and immediately Razork turns, and he burns, but Larssen over the wall. Big damage coming in for the Viktor, trying to get one back. Gonna get punched when he's invincible, because Szygenda, I think it's Why did he stop push? Why did he stop push? Why did he stop push? That was the worst stop push I've seen in years. Szygenda now running. It was a prank, bro. Let him leave. It was a prank. I was just kidding, guys. Please, no. The knock-up. He flashed into it. He flashed into the knock-up. Oh!
How is that? Look. Zeri. Yeah, go on them. Yeah. Nice one. Bomb. Okay. Bomb them. Bomb them all.
Let's go!
I kill him too.